Because you know why? He's a Frankenstein's monster. Ugh, he's grotesque.
He's so grotesque.
This is part of the lore now, is that we have Frankenstein monsters fighting in the U.S. Army.
Boy, this is always a challenge.
It's always hunting season.
And then it's always hunting
This
season.
Mr. Murdoch seemed very anxious to rent the place.
But $1,500? Just for the weekend? Must be some congressman here on government business.
I don't think so, because he called back 3 times, and he said he'd even put us all up at a hotel if we'd rent the place.
But we don't even know who the man represents. I mean, what would the neighbors think if they saw a bunch of strange-looking people living in our home?
Grandpa, we could use the money. We still owe that bill to the vet from the last time you went out prowling and caught distemper.
Grandpa, if you'd taken his shots when I told you to, you could have saved us $400.
Hey, Mom, if we do rent the place, could I use some of the money to buy Spot a new toy?
Oh, Eddie, we gave him a foreign sports car for Christmas. He played with it a couple of times, and then he threw it over the back fence.
What should I tell the man if he calls back again?
Marilyn, dear, I've thought the thing over from all angles, and I have come to a conclusion. We will accept the man's offer. That is my decision as head of the house.
ADR.
That's all right with you, isn't it, pussycat?
Hello and welcome to another amazing, groundbreaking, one-of-a-kind, genre-defining episode of the Munster Hunters, the only show that dares to shun, ignore, turn our nose up at any streaming content and streaking content as well.
Oh, yeah.
Speak for yourself.
That exists. It comes out, and I'm sure it's quality. And we say, nay to you. We're watching a 60-year-old sitcom about a Frankenstein monster and his grotesque family. My name is Derek, and I am a Munster Hunter. Joining me at the Frankenstein-headed table of Munster hunting is Shun DMC himself, Keith.
Hey, what's up? This is Keith, and I am a Munster Hunter.
And across that table from Keith, there's a bunch of like scratches that have been filled in with wood putty. Who knows what that means? Is the Dr. Dre of Kansas. His name is Terry. Terry, how's it going?
Oh, it's great. You know, I know what that means. I've been here hard at work all week filling in these scratches from when I get really stressed out. My fingers start to clench the table and they start to pull back and, you know, make these big scratches. So yeah, I'm just filling it in. I do it every week. I just not noticed it.
I thought it was because you're playing that knife game that one time.
Playing the knife game.
Yeah.
Words might have been carved in the table. Who knows? I don't know what's going on here. I just know that the tables never look better. And
Thank you,
Terry.
Yep. Master. Can we add Master Craftsman? Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre of Kansas. Master Craftsman. You have so many superlatives to your name. It's just it's just a lot. Most likely to succeed.
Yes.
Class clown. All those things. Oh boy. Oh well. We're here once again for season 1. Well, not once again for season 1, episode 26, but we're here once again, and we're going to go over season 1, episode 26, Far Out Munsters. But before we do that, how you guys doing?
I'm good. I was just realizing if this was like a British TV show, we'd be on like season 6 already.
We'd be on series 7 right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're pretty much
with
like
the length of our episodes. They're like Sherlock. Man,
we're like the British podcast, BBC style. Everybody says that about us. All the reviews are coming in saying, that's the next Sherlock. It's the next Doctor Who. All this kind of stuff.
Yeah, they do say that a lot.
Yeah.
All the reviews, which are confusing because we don't do anything like Sherlock or Doctor Who.
Well, we're always getting to the bottom of these episodes.
We traveled back in time to check out a 6-year-old TV show.
That is true.
Yeah, and every once in a while, one of us disappears and comes back. It's a totally different person. So,
yep. Yeah, Terry's on his 5th regeneration.
Yes. Did I mention I was a Time Lord?
Those SCUMA trips are tough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the clones, they learned how to regenerate, so that's great. Save some money.
Yeah. So we're on season 1, episode 26, and we still have 12 more fucking episodes per season.
That's how many?
12. We have 12 more
Oh,
after this,
God.
right?
I
There's 30
thought we were close.
now. Because when I was doing it, I was like, my God. I looked back. You know what the 12th episode of season 1 was?
What?
Was the Cinderella episode. My Fair Monster.
Oh,
My
I
Fair
like that
Monster?
one.
No.
Yeah, but
Sleeping Monster? I
Sleeping
don't-
Cutie.
Sleeping Cutie. That's what it was.
Yep.
That feels like 9 years ago.
It does. That was a good episode, man. That's bringing me back to better times. Like
That
wow.
was number 12.
Oh,
12
wow.
episodes ago was Grandpa Leaves Home.
Oh,
Ugh.
where he becomes a magician, right?
Yes.
Like a stage magician. So he's always doing his little magic stuff.
And we still have 12 more episodes to go.
Yeah. Any predictions what the final episode's gonna be?
Oh, I don't know.
Grandpa falls asleep and needs a princess to kiss him to wake him up and
Oh,
make him
wouldn't
leave,
that be
and,
something?
and make him leave home.
I like that
Mm.
idea.
Yeah, I think Marilyn's gonna run away from home this time, and Grandpa's gonna have to track her down in bat form and find her.
But what'll be funny? It'll be the 3rd consecutive episode in which Marilyn ran away from home.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Finish on that theme. Oh, boy. Well, let's find out what today's theme is. But before we can do
Ugh.
that, right? We
Yeah.
gotta light a candle, go down the hall, watch out for the cobwebs, the low-hanging fruit, the bat ship, the Twizzlers, all that kind of stuff. Open up the door into the big stone cathedral, filled with ghosts and books.
Mm-hmm. How's your buddy Ghost doing? Is he doing okay? He lost his
Oh,
wife.
his wife. He's still a little bitter at me because I won't return his wife. And how many times I could tell him once she's in the vacuum cleaner, I have no control over that.
Oh.
It's not. Remember old cartoons where the
Uh-huh.
vacuum cleaner had like a forward and a reverse mode?
Oh
Right?
yeah.
There's no reverse mode on this vacuum cleaner. It is just it's one way. It's a Dyson, and it just
Oh well, yeah. Those are notoriously hard to get things out of once you put
yes.
them in.
And they're known for shredding ghosts. That's why I got it.
They shred them.
Yep. They got that weird ball in them, right? It's like,
Mhm. Yeah, back in the day, I mean, in a cartoon vacuum, it was always set to like the wrong way too.
yes.
So it definitely would have shot like some ghosts out along with a bunch of dust
Mhm.
Yeah.
You should-
and caused chaos before people could
Oh,
then
yeah.
start to clean up properly.
Yeah.
You should be
now you got the
thankful.
little windy thing that goes around. You got a couple different filters that it goes through. There's no way Ghost makes it through that.
No.
No. And yeah, if it could reverse, you don't want to see what that ghost looks like now. You
Oh
don't.
God, no.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
I feel bad now that we're talking about it, about what I did to those 70 souls, literal souls sucked up in the Dyson.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do? You're a ghost. Yeah, got to get rid of them somehow.
Called a
I mean,
shark for a reason.
Yeah.
Just devoured those bastards.
I just think it's crazy that when you're not gone and the Roomba sucks them up. It's awesome.
Yeah. And the thing is, the Roomba's so slow, and it's their own fault if they get sucked up by that. They should see it coming.
Well, that's the problem.
Mhm.
You got like your headphones in and you're not paying attention. All of a sudden you feel a little that like terrible pat on your foot, and you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're sucked into eternity forever to be blended.
That's to be blended inside the Roomba. Yeah. Terrible. Anyway, he's doing okay.
Okay.
I mean, he's still
Nobody-
salty, but we'll get together and talk about the Lord of the Rings episode.
Oh, good.
Of the previous week.
Mm.
He always likes it. Yeah. So here we are in the cathedral. I gotta go to the bookshelf. Ignore the ghosts. Ignore Indiana Jones's comings and leavings. Find past
Oh,
past
God,
all
I
the
prefer comings and goings, not comings and leavings.
comings and goings, comings and leavings, whatever he's got, past all the movie to book translations, and here we are. I'll pull out this giant leather-bound tome. Boy, it took a long time to get here. Boy, we got to the cathedral and got sidetracked.
Well,
Yeah.
Terry and I have been sitting out here for a while waiting for you.
Oh shit! I don't know what I've been doing. Crack open the spine, blow out the dust, drop to a knee, present the book to Keith, altar boy to priest style, for the Munster Hunter factoid fact tidbit shit sheet psalm of the week.
All right. You know what? I was thinking about, I was flipping through the almanac, and I was like, you know what? We kind of have to kind of have to find out where we came from, so we can continue to go forward.
I started from the bottom.
this.
Now I'm here.
Yeah. Started at the bottom, not at the top.
Yep.
And so if I open up right now, we're going to go to Universal chapter 19, verse 31.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Big chapter, big verse.
Yeah. Frankenstein, the man who made a monster, came out in November 21st, 1931. So I'm checking out some of the Universal monsters here.
Nice.
This was filmed on the Little Europe backlot at Universal Studios and had a budget of $291,000.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah. All time overall, it ranks 4,864th at domestic box office.
Oh, wow.
with 12 million that it made.
Oh, well, that's adjusted for modern day, right?
Mm-hmm. It's number 401 if you're just looking at horror films. 425 if you want to look at science fiction films.
How about
401,
Frankenstein
if you think
films?
about horror films, isn't that bad?
That's pretty good. Yeah. Thinking about all the horror films that come out. Yeah.
And that movie's like 100 years old. So,
yeah.
And it ranks 130th all time for not rated movies, because I guess they weren't rating them at that time yet.
Sure.
It was directed by James Whale. He also did The Invisible Man and Bride of Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
It stars Colin Clive as Henry Frankenstein, Mae Clark as Elizabeth, Dwight Fry as Fritz, and then the opening credits say the monster and a question mark.
Yeah, they want to keep it a secret. That's so cool.
Yeah. And then I guess during the closing credits, it says a good cast is worth repeating. And they go through the whole thing again, this time, though, with Boris Karloff's name next to the monster. This was, everyone knows, based off the novel by Mary Shelley. It was added to the National Film Registry of the United States Library of Congress in 1991. Oh, here's a good one.
Wait, 1991? That seems late.
I don't know how long they've been keeping the National Film Registry together.
I guess that's
Library
true.
of Congress.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 1991 was the first year. I don't know.
Fair enough. You know what? You're right. I take it back.
Yeah.
God damn it, Terry. How
Sorry,
dare you.
everyone.
Well, part of the problem, Terry, is the fact that not all the states would show it right away. So maybe it took a little while, because this film was banned in Kansas upon its original release on the grounds that it exhibited cruelty and tended to debase morals.
Wow. Well, that's Kansas for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The monster in the film does not physically resemble the character in Mary Shelley's novel. It was makeup artist Jack P. Pierce who came up with the innovations such as its flat head, the bolts on the side of the neck, the droopy eyelids, and the poorly fitted suit. And so then after that, any future Frankenstein film just picks up right where Pierce laid it all out at.
I love that's an iconic clip. He did a great job. He looks so cool in that movie.
So good. It is still copyrighted to Universal through the year 2026.
Oh, that means we got another one coming up then, probably, right? Like they're going to make another Frankenstein.
Well, assuming the copyright has not lapsed, when that time comes around, this film and any others produced in 1931 will then enter public domain in 2027. So we could get that Winnie the Pooh horror film crossover.
Oh, with Frankenstein.
With Frankenstein. Yeah, I guess that technically could happen.
Well, I think Frankenstein is public domain. I think the universal depiction of
that's what I mean. Yeah.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so that square head and the neck bolts and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. I just thought it was interesting that that it doesn't actually represent, like, the thing that everyone visions as Frankenstein is not what Mary Shelley's novel had in the first place.
No, I think he's supposed to look more like Robert De Niro, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
According to the DVD commentary for this film, James Whale intended the film to take place in an alternate universe and therefore freely mix 19th century and 1930s technology, hair fashions, etc.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very bold.
Mm-hmm. They did a 20-minute test reel. The monster was played by Bela Lugosi.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And directed by the same guy who did Dracula.
Okay.
The footage has not been seen since 1931 and is considered lost, but there's a poster that shows Bela Lugosi's likeness as the Frankenstein monster. Now, here's another interesting thing that would eventually tie us back to the Munsters. John Carradine turned down the part of the monster because he considered himself too highly trained to be reduced to playing monsters. He was eventually offered the role to play Herman Munster as well.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah. 7-year-old actress Marilyn Harris. She's the one who plays Maria, who gets thrown into the lake by the monster. She had done several takes of it, none of which turned out quite right. She was very wet. She was very tired. And the director, Whale, was like, look, I'll give you anything you want if you just do this one more time. So they did it one more time. This is the one that makes it into the film. She asked for a dozen hard-boiled eggs, which was her favorite snack. And James Whale gave her two.
Oh,
two eggs or 2 dozen?
Two dozen. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, please, sir, just a dozen hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah. So I'm like,
I can muster 2. Get back
that's
to
all I
work.
got.
I was just baffled that that's like a kid's favorite snack is hard-boiled eggs.
Like of all the things, think of what a simple time it was. When
yes,
when I'll get you whatever you want, kid. A dozen hard-boiled eggs, sir. And that probably felt like a huge ask.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus, this kid wants a dozen eggs. Where can you even get a dozen eggs anymore? Dozen eggs. What, a chicken?
Yeah. What is this? Yeah, we'll get them too.
I'll close out on this one. 1985 interview, Mae Clark. She said of the guy who played Dr. Frankenstein, Colin Clive, he was the dearest, kindest, in the meaning of the word kind man. He gave you importance. He was so wonderful, so clever. When he started acting in a scene, I wanted to stop and just watch. I'd think, oh, here I am playing scenes with this marvelous actor. Mr. Whale would say, Colin's voice is like a pipe organ. I just pull out all the stops and he produces the music.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
She goes on to say that he was electric. She was mesmerized with him, so much so that she hoped that it didn't show on screen. Like anytime he looked like she got flush. He had a wife back in England. I had a young man as well. In fact, she was glad that her fiance was at the premiere that night to be my good anchor against my stormy waves of fancy for Colin.
Wow.
He's the handsomest man I ever saw and also the saddest. His saddest was elusive. The sadness you see if you contemplate many of the master painters, sculptors' conceptions of the face of Christ, the ultimate source, in my view, of sadness.
Jeez, Sheila was in love with this man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly.
That's a really cool description.
Yeah. So that's just a couple quick facts. I mean, it's a nearly 100-year-old movie, so we don't need to go too deep into other stuff. But I'm over the next few weeks, I'm going to check out a couple of the other Universal movies to talk about there.
No, I'm excited
as part of the Almanac.
I just recently watched all of these. I just finished like last week all of them, so it'll be nice to hear your recaps of them. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever actually seen any of them.
Really, you should. Well, at least like I say, like the first couple in each series are worth it, but after that,
yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm going to watch every single iteration, but the Frankenstein, Wolfman, Creature from Black Lagoon, Dracula, those main ones there probably should be watched.
Oh yeah, Frankenstein's great. That's like my second favorite of the Universal monsters.
I mean, I've probably seen that, but it's been so long.
Yeah.
Oh, like the original one? Yeah, same. The Bride and Frankenstein.
Yeah.
All those were Monster Movie Saturday staples, right? With Sven Gulli. For those that know Sven Gulli.
Yep.
And
nope.
Another reference I know.
I think it's a very Chicago thing.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. Like,
like one of those like hosts
was
or whatever that shows movies and riffs on them or whatever.
Sven Gulli, I think, started in Chicago, but now there's son of Sven Gulli, and he's more like syndicated everywhere because it'll show up down here as well.
Yeah, because he was a Chicago guy. It was Dave Koz, and I don't know if he proposed. I don't know if he still does it.
Oh yeah, but, it's I see commercials for it every now and then here.
But on Saturday afternoons, it was Sven Gulli. I don't know if it's called Son of Sven Gulli, but I just called it Sven Gulli. And it was him. He was like a Dracula in an upright coffin. And they would show monster movies and like War of the Worlds and stuff like that, like old classics. And then they had like interstitial sketches with like rubber chickens and stuff like that.
Okay.
It was the kind of thing that was awesome. I loved it as a kid. But I saw all those old monster movies there, like in Creature of the Black Lagoon was always my favorite.
Oh yeah, that one's good.
Yeah, I've probably seen them all at some point in time, but it's been quite a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
We should take a page out of Terry's almanac and maybe watch them all.
Oh, that'd be fun. Maybe a Patreon.
Oh, where we watch all of them simultaneously. We have seven open windows on our laptops and watching them all. That would be fun.
Yeah, that'd be great. And if we stream it so everybody can hear all the audio and we're commentating over it.
Overlaid audio of 7 movies would be amazing.
We wouldn't get copyright strike because no, it's incomprehensible. Nobody would know what's happening.
Yeah,
but that would be with our commentary over it as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 7 layer. We're all talking about different movies at different times. That sounds like a fun episode. Well, I think we should do that.
Oh, before we can do that, here you go.
Yeah, close that book, Keith.
The Necronomiconic Encyclopedia.
Necronomic Encyclopedia.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon me, I got boogies in my nose. It's been a very snot-filled week at my house.
Got some bats in your belfry?
Bats, and they're attacking my wife.
Oh no!
Quick, up the stone stairs. However many there are.
Dude, come on, you can't throw stuff like that out when I'm I was taking a big drink of water.
What, the stone stairs thing?
No,
or the attacking my wife?
Attacking my wife thing. Yeah.
The greatest line of the terrible movie.
I almost spit up all over the
Did you really?
Chair.
Oh, I feel like my night's complete. We should probably just stop recording now. Up the stairs, out the back door, through the kitchen, say hi to the staff. What up, staff? Hello. And then and that's how they sound. Hello,
it's all right.
Yeah, they're very low-key monotone. Good to see you again. We run out the back door, down the walkway between the 13th and 15th step is a crack. Don't forget about the trip. Creaky gate, out to the dock, onto the boat where Captain Terry is going to take us 3 miles out into international water because we're going to dive deep, deep down to the gates of hell for another SCUMA.
Yep, we're diving deep again. And it wouldn't be a SCUMA if we didn't talk about somebody you've already talked about 100 times. Joseph Pevney directed this episode.
Oh, man.
We have talked about him ad nauseum.
Yes, we have.
He did the last episode we talked about Come Back Little Googie. Remember that?
Oh, my God. That was the last episode?
Yeah.
Oh, God. This guy's just, his track record's not good at this point now.
Mm-hmm. We still have 5 more episodes of his. So, we've really talked about this guy, but I was looking him up. I just decided to Google his name instead of use IMDb this time, just to see, what happened. And of course, I found his obituary.
You should try Bing.
Huh? Oh, I should have tried Bing. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bing that Pevney.
Mm-hmm.
Bing
so,
that Pevney. Bing that Pevney.
Is that the new hip dance these days?
Yes.
Bing the Pevney. I like that.
And Two Live Cruise reunion tour songs. Bing that Pevney.
So I was just reading through this thing, and it talks a bit about like his Star Trek episodes that he directed. Apparently, he did a lot of like fan favorite ones. I've never actually seen the show, so I can't speak to how good his episodes actually were. But he was the director with the most episodes on that series, only tying with one other person. He did 14 episodes, so that's pretty good. And they even got like George Takei to like a quote from him about how organized he was. He was an authoritarian director where he was super precise, but he's also very relaxed and he was jovial. And Takei said he really, really enjoyed working with the guy. So I thought that was kind of nice. We don't really get to hear a lot of nice things about these people. So
sounds like he found his groove, because definitely wasn't the Munsters.
Yeah, the Munsters were just practice.
Yeah,
I think the Munsters came out before Star Trek. I don't know. The timeline it works. Just don't look into it. But yeah, so we've also got some writers for this. We got Dick Conway, Joe Connolly, and Bob Mosher. It's the Beaver Squad.
The Beaver Squad.
Joe Connolly, Bob Mosher.
Hey, hon, I'm hitting the town with the Beaver Squad tonight. Don't wait up.
Don't wait up. Hun. Yeah. But yeah, Joe Connolly, Bob Mosher, they're both well known for creating Leave It to Beaver. We've talked about them a million times already. Dick Conway also has a pretty strong presence on the show. He has 72 writing credits on Leave It to Beaver, so not bad. He's also got plenty of credits left on the Munsters that we haven't talked about yet, so keep looking forward to seeing his name.
Oh, nice.
So I was digging through his stuff as I do, and I found he did a couple episodes of a show called Macduff, the Talking Dog.
Oh, boy, that sounds great.
Oh, yeah. It had 13 episodes, so, it was a nice compact series, told all I needed to tell, and it was over.
But it's not McGruff, it's Macduff.
It's Macduff.
Yeah.
Still wears a trench coat.
Keith, dubious.
It seems suspicious, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure out what the premise of the show was. I kind of assumed it was just like a classic, guy, and he has a dog who happens to talk. But it seems like it's a little bit more complicated. I found it. The only description it has on IMDb is a user submitted one. So I'm going to read what RCS0411 put on IMDb for you. Calvin Campbell is a veterinarian who is also the parent to his sister Kimmy. Now, Calvin, though not very bright and confident, is very nice. Now, Amos Ferguson, his neighbor, wants to buy the property, but Calvin refuses. So Ferguson is always coming up with a new scheme to get Calvin to sell, and he almost succeeds. But fortunately for Macduff, a ghost dog who apparently has been watching Calvin's family for generations is there to thwart Ferguson. Macduff is also a talking dog, but everyone thinks something's wrong with Calvin because they always walk in on him talking to himself because Macduff only reveals himself to Calvin. There you go.
Oh, so he's an invisible talking dog. He's
Well,
like
so
Snuffleupagus.
Yeah.
That's what's weird. So apparently he's not just a talking dog. He's also a ghost dog. So he's been watching over Calvin's family for generations. I wasn't really sure. I was like, that just seems like a weird description. So I looked it up on YouTube and I found the intro. And yeah, that actually confirms exactly what that guy said. It starts with a musical number that explains everything about the premise.
Oh.
It's sung by the main actor, I think. And I think it's also sung by the guy who voices Macduff. And Macduff does indeed confirm he is half dog and half ghost. He can also speak words of the birds and the beasts. So I guess maybe he helps Calvin with his veterinarian work. I don't really know. The
He's
opening
half dog, half ghost. Wouldn't he be all ghost? He can still be all dog, 100%.
Yeah, he's half. Dad was a ghost, mom was a dog. It's weird. It's a very out of tune song. Macduff doesn't really sing; he kind of just talks over it in the tempo of the song. So yeah. Anyways, that's a fun little thing I found, I guess. We've got some guest stars on here. We've got the Standells as themselves, which is a band.
Okay, so they were real.
They were a real band. Yeah,
I had to look. I looked that up as well because I'm like, honestly, I've never heard of these guys ever.
Same. Yes.
I assume they just made them up, and then they were a legit band. I was very shocked to see that because I'm sitting there going like the Standells.
Yeah. I know. Yeah,
maybe because it's such a dumb name, that's why nobody remembers them. But this seemed like a big promo episode for them. I don't want to get
it did. Yeah.
Right, but this was like a big thing that was supposed to maybe help them more than help the Munsters.
Yeah, like the Standells manager was also the executive producer of the Munsters.
Seemed like an ulterior motive to this episode for sure. Yeah, it was very weird. But we've also got Zalman King as Bearded Man, so let's not forget about him.
Which one? There's two.
I don't actually know which one he is. I think he's the guy who lets them in with the big
probably
beard, but. Then again, there's a bearded man later who has a pretty big showcase.
Yeah, I think he's the guy who they're constantly is standing over by them and everything. And the guy who let them in and walked around.
That's
because the other guy is, I think, listed as hipster.
Oh,
that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah,
there is one guy who I wish we had info on, and he's amazing. We'll talk about him more.
Okay. So we'll talk about the Standells a little bit. They're a rock band that formed in 1962. I guess they're kind of known as a pre-punk band. They influenced a lot of later on punk bands like the Sex Pistols and the Ramones, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, that's what Wikipedia said. The name Standells was inspired from them having to stand around booking agents' offices trying to get work. So I guess kind of clever.
They used to be called the Citels.
Yes.
The Citels. You guys are just standing around. You should call yourself the Standells.
Yeah, there you go. I think their most well-known song is something called Dirty Water. It's actually, I guess, a Boston anthem. It's played after every Boston Red Sox and Boston Bruins win. So
really,
they are well known, I guess, in some circles, in the Boston circles. It was also number 11 on the Billboard charts when it first came out. So yeah, they're actually not too bad. I enjoyed the song Dirty Water, and I listened to a song called Barracuda. Pretty good. No relation to that other Barracuda song.
Oh,
the bam, bada bam, bada bam, bada bam.
Yeah.
That, you know, what I'm talking about.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, I was hoping that was a cover of theirs, but no relations, unfortunately.
Barracuda.
That is a great song. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Another fun fact is that the founding member Larry Tamblyn, who is the singer and keyboardist, is related to an actor named Russ Tamblyn. Russ Tamblyn, he's more well known for his role in West Side Story back in 1961. But I know Russ Tamblyn from a movie called War of the Gargantuas. If you ever heard of it, it's a Japanese-American co-production with these giant monsters. They're about twin monsters that end up fighting each other because one wants to eat humans and the other one likes people. So, you know, it's the classic struggle.
I eat humans.
It's a classic
I protect
brother versus brother reasonings. Yeah.
Cain versus Abel, you know, yeah.
Cain versus Abel. Very much like that. That's what I was thinking too.
Russ, he plays an American scientist who's helping study the creatures. And I forgot to mention, these monsters are both Frankensteins.
Oh,
so
it should be.
It is tangentially related to Munsters. It's a loose sequel to another Japanese-American movie called Frankenstein Conquers the World.
Oh.
And that's about they find Frankenstein's monster in a weird cave, and he's been like affected by nuclear radiation or something.
Oh my gosh.
He ends up getting really big. He like slowly starts growing. They put him in like a jail cell at first, and he gets so big he like pops out. And he ends up fighting another monster called Baragon. I keep getting bigger.
Baragon.
So I guess the creatures from War of the Gargantuas are like offshoots of him, or I think one of them might be the Frankenstein from the first. They look totally different from movie to movie, so it's hard to tell what they're going for. Like the first one, he looks like a Frankenstein's monster, pretty much just really big. And the second one, they're like big for fuzzy apes. So I don't know. But all that is to say is that I hope that we have a episode of the Munsters where Herman gets radiated and turns into a big monster.
I can only hope, man.
Maybe
he had an episode where he's near uranium. So
you're right.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be that's my new prediction for the next 12 episodes. The final episode, Herman gets big and he has a kaiju battle with Grandpa.
What if he's slowly getting bigger and bigger over the next 12 episodes? And it's only noticeable if you like skip episodes.
I think you're right.
Like, Herman's head's scraping the ceiling right now. That's weird.
An episode after that, his head's like punched through the ceiling, and he's just walking around ripping through it.
Sits outside because he's as tall as the house in time.
I mean, he has a brother he could fight with. I mean, Charlie.
Oh, you're right. And Charlie definitely eats people. Yeah, so
Charlie does eat people.
We've also got not to get too off the rail of the Standells. We've also got Zalman King, the bearded man. He's done it all. He's got 41 acting credits from 1964 to 2007, but he also has a bunch of directing credits and producing credits. He was in all 25 episodes of a show called The Young Lawyers, which is about young lawyers who help out people in need.
I love when a show tells you exactly what it is. It's like learning channel shows.
Yeah, I was really hoping it'd be something like, something a little different. Like gonna lead you down a different path there, but I guess not.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping, like an old retired lawyer having to get back in the game. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But according to IMDb, one of the things he's most well known for is something called Galaxy of Terror. He plays a guy named Balion, I think. I don't know who that is. I watched the trailer. I didn't see anybody named Balion. They didn't make that clear. The poster has some crazy art, but it doesn't really match the trailer at all. It's like the villain is like a creature that becomes your deepest fears, I guess. There's two versions of the trailer on IMDb. One makes it sound like astronauts get trapped in some sort of hell-like plane of existence, and they have to fight off some sort of space demons and bugs. So I guess that sounds like my deepest fears. So that seems about right. And it basically what we have. It's basically kind of like what we do in the SCUMA. So I mean, I think maybe it's a little too real for me. So we should probably start heading up. That's all I have. So let's just slowly, let's get our bearings.
Starting to head up now? Because holy shit.
Also, the other guy you guys were referencing before is Kelton Garwood, and he's I think I called him the hippie. He's actually referred to as the hermit.
He's the hermit?
Yeah,
that's not who I was talking about. But we'll get there.
Okay.
I'm already on the beach roasting a weenie on a fire.
Oh,
the fire's already starting to go out. You guys are
no. Did you at least save us a couple weenies?
Hell no. I mean, you can cook your own if you want.
I'm gonna come up here and be hungry. I don't know if I'll have enough energy to discuss this. Yeah.
The re-emergence from the SCUMA is one of the most hunger-inducing experiences you can have.
Well, it's probably because you're swimming at like 50 miles an hour.
That's true. I swim way faster than anybody should.
I mean, okay, the term weenie is a little weird for it, but it's still better than. Do you guys ever hear hot dogs called glizzies?
Yeah,
no,
I have.
And I don't understand why. And I don't need to get too deep into it. You said weenie and it made me laugh, and I'm like, now they call them glizzies, and it doesn't make me laugh. It just makes me wonder what the fuck people are talking about.
Yeah,
is that a new thing? Glizzies?
Thing.
Yeah.
I bet you if you went on to Urban Dictionary and typed in glizzy, you'd probably get a response that maybe you were expecting. I don't know. Either way, I'm on the beach.
Yeah. We had hot dogs a couple weeks ago, and my son was like, "Ooh, awesome! We have some glizzies."
Oh,
and I was like, "Oh boy."
Yeah. No. Let's do some real fast. Urban.
Yeah, we should be careful. We're saying this willy-nilly. I'm worried. It feels wrong in my tongue.
I've heard the term glizzy, and it's never about a hot dog.
Oh, I looked it up, and it was and people had referenced hot dogs only. I did not go to Urban Dictionary though.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Glizzy, a hot dog. Glizzy gobbler, a person who completely dominates hot dogs during consumption. A glizzy gladiator, one who exemplifies the gobbling of glizzy to a gigantic degree.
Wow. Well, it's not sexual at all, apparently. That's great.
No. But the people I heard, term used for people whose fingers are usually large, glizzy. A gluzzy, well, that's a frozen cock. A glizzy girl, if you search word basic. Well, I don't know.
Well, all right. Well, is this a new segment that we're going to do?
It is. The Urban Dictionary. Keith's kids bring home a phrase. We look it up.
Yes.
Next week, they want to know what a Saskatchewan snowstorm is.
I don't even want to look that up. I already closed the tab.
That's right.
Phew, there's no way to know.
No way to ever find out. That no one will ever tell me. Here we are. Gentlemen. Season 1, episode 26, Far Out Munster. Original air date, March 17th, 1965. It says here in TV Guide, a visiting rock and roll group attempts to rent the Munsters' house for privacy. Gets a lofty 7.5 on IMDb. Before we even get into it, this is one of the most hollow episodes they've had in this entire run so far.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
Well, it's just really vapid. Let's rock.
I was laughing at how ridiculous some of the stuff I was seeing was, not because it was supposed to be a joke, but I was just like, I can't believe they're doing this. Like,
I know.
It's ridiculous.
It was amazing. So we open Munsters relaxing living room after supper. Whoa, maybe we won't see the Munsters eat this episode because they're in a post consumption. They're having post-consumption cigarettes around the living room. Herman's had a rough day at the parlor. People going in and out all day. Herman is going to make some popcorn. He's pouring it into a cast iron skillet. Eddie is walking Spot, and there's a cool Spot shadow on the wall.
Oh yeah.
And then Eddie comes in. Gee, Pops, I got this new record. I want to play it. And I'm like, all right, whatever. There's a phonograph there in the corner. I never noticed before. Grandpa loves new music because back in the old country, he used to haunt the opera house both night and day.
I love that line. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So Eddie throws on his record and plays it. And it's a very timid 60s styles party rock and roll. Come on and do the swim. Come on and do the bird or what the fuck ever. It's just like
something like that. Yeah.
It's nonsense.
It's no Camptown races. That's true.
No, it is not Camptown races. And because it's not Camptown races, all the Munsters have totally reasonable reactions. Herman pops popcorn in his hand somehow.
Yes.
Kitty growls and jumps away. Grandpa swallows his cigar.
Yes.
The phonograph smokes. Herman pounds on the couch and a bunch of shit comes out of it. Grandpa has smoke coming out of his ears. It's like,
yes,
this is such an unreasonable reaction to this record.
I get that like they're standing right there, right in front of the phonograph, so it's a little bit loud. But like Herman's trying to tell him to turn it off, and and nobody can hear him, so he walks over and just starts hitting the couch over and over again until Eddie finally turns it off. I'm like, you're standing right next to him. You can still hear a person say,
"Don't need to throw the fit."
Yeah,
especially with Herman's lungs, we know he's loud.
Yes.
He laughs.
Boy, if Herman only had a way to like make a super loud noise.
Oh yeah,
like he's never done that before, so he could get everyone's attention. So
if only Herman had a way to make a record float up off the record player and like crash someplace else.
Yeah, could do that, but he doesn't. He just pounds on the couch and he's like, cut it, or something like that. I can't remember what he says. But Herman not having the rock music, and he's like, but they're the Standells. All the kids at schools all the kids at school are nuts about them. They're coming to town. They're coming to town for a concert. Eddie would do anything to meet them face to face. And so this right here is the lob, right? I'd do anything to meet him face to face. And the grandpa says, well, we can be thankful that will never happen. Ooh. Spin cut too. And I wrote down spin cut because I'm like, oh, here's an episode with all kinds of crazy transitions. Spin cut to the Standells, I assume, because I have no idea who they are.
Yep.
Arguing with their manager about arrangements in this little town. Yeah, we're gonna get $8,000, but we can't wreck a hotel. So no hotels, they wreck mansions. And then he says, I know, one of them says, I don't know there, Standell 3. You should get us a place on the outskirts that we can't do any harm. Like, idea brought up on the spot. Manager's like, I'll consider it. I got a real estate agent looking into it, and they spotted a place. Like, so I don't understand, but it's okay.
Didn't he say like they did that one other time and it worked out well for them or something? Like, I thought they referenced that they did it once before.
They rented a mansion once, and then they ruined it. The hotel, they have 2,000 fans sitting there waiting for them. I don't know. These are the Standells.
They do not look like big party guys.
No. They look pretty lame, in all honesty.
I mean,
and I'm shit, game recognized game. I'm lame as hell. So the manager's like, I got a real estate agent looking into it. He found a spot. Guess what the address is, boys? 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
Oh my God.
Hell yeah. Of all the places in all of Mockingbird Heights, that's the one they find.
Well, who lives there anyways? I wonder.
I don't know, but he's going to go out there and strike a deal. And it's owned by some guy named Munster.
Yeah. Interesting.
And another guy's like, when they find out what we're willing to pay, they'll fall over dead. If only they knew. If only these Standells understood.
God. This was like the first sign. I was like, oh, these Standells, maybe not the best actors I've ever seen.
Yeah. And then from there, we get the banger. And then we come back to.
Oh, you know what? I noticed something in the banger this
time.
It's so when Grandpa shows up to give the old bite on Lily, his cloak is really shiny.
It is. It is very shiny.
I never noticed that until now, but man, yeah, it's I can practically see my reflection in that thing.
I think it's awesome that we've seen the bangers so often that we're picking out things. We still got 12 more episodes after this to find little things. We found the tuba, now a shiny cloak.
You know, it'd been interesting. I mean, I guess this is because I have no clue who the Standells. This could be the reason that their career fell apart was because they showed up on the Munsters. I don't know.
It could be.
But it would have been interesting to, and I think like in a more modern day setting, they probably would have done something like, oh, the Standells are on, and then they would have done the Standells doing the Munster theme.
Oh, that would be
like
fun.
Playing that. Because like I could see that happening on like a show now where like if you're gonna have like a special guest on, they suddenly just do like a quick like version of the of a theme song. It seems like something probably more modern. Actually, not even modern. I think like a 90s TV shows probably would have pulled that off all the time.
I'm going to be real honest. It may have been a stretch for the Standells to play anything. And that's just from watching this episode. I don't know anything about it, but
yeah, well, we'll get plenty of chances to really understand their musical style. So
yes, we will. Banger, shiny cloak, tuba, cut back. Marilyn is talking to Mr. Murdoch, and he's turning him down. House isn't for rent. Get lost, old man. Herman and Lily are out, and Grandpa's in the attic. Oh, is he doing work? Is he doing work? Like they have to have this conversation for some reason. Is he working in the attic? No, he just likes to hang out.
Does it really matter what he's doing up there? Like, do you really care about the old grandpa who lives with them?
No shit.
Yeah. We need to have this conversation because they have to fill time.
Oh God. We'll get there. It's the offer, $500. Well, no. You gotta tell them $1,500 for the weekend. Like that's pretty good money now.
Yeah,
like,
that's not bad.
If somebody came to my house and was like, listen, we'll give you $1,500 for the weekend. You put you in a hotel. I'd be like, bet. I'd be packed in a second.
Packed. Hell, I'll just buy some new clothes in town.
Yeah.
$50.
I'd be like Pretty Woman going out there on the.
Yep, that's me.
I'm gonna go start a whole new life. I'm never coming back.
Yep. So Marilyn says they're real touchy about strangers, and all the years she can't recall 8 or 9 people getting past the front door.
Well, I've seen at least 8 or 9 people so far this season.
I know we've seen plenty, more than 8 or 9.
Most of them her boyfriends who come in and hustle back out.
Hell yeah. So she closes the door. Dude walks off. Even my boys couldn't hurt this dump. Fade 2, what we opened up with, the dinner table, and they're talking, and Herman's like, God damn it, we're going to do this. And only if that's okay with you, pussycat. Which,
right. Yeah. That was
another
kind of
one of those,
actually. Yeah.
Another one of those, Herman, I'm the big man.
Yep.
But I
was groaning when he was like, I'm his head of household, so it's my decision. But then I kind of laughed when Lily was like glaring at him. And I was like, all right, fair enough.
Yeah. And I mean, they don't do that one every episode, but even like in some of the earliest ones that they've done, that's a reoccurring thing all the time.
It is.
Yeah. It's like his new thing.
You almost want like Marilyn's always too nice, but probably just Grandpa's the one who could be an ass to do it. Be like, just Lily's going to tell us whether it's okay or not. All right, Herman, you don't have to do this anymore. Now,
here's what's wild. This scene happens. They're cooking through the episode because the next they fade to the Munsters leaving. Normally, a Munsters episode, they'd have a negotiation, we'd sign a contract, or we'd have to go back and forth, get it notarized, whatever, right? Nope, we're already cutting to them leaving. Like, wow, we skipped like at least 4 hours worth of time. We'd have to watch it all.
Yeah.
Munsters leaving. Herman puts the key under the mat. He doesn't want any burglars getting in. And then Grandpa's like, well, explain to me, genius, how are our guests supposed to get in? And they hangs up a sign that says key under mat on the front door, which I found, it made me chuckle, but I'm like, well, that's really dumb.
Yeah, I couldn't chuckle at that one.
Oh, really?
Wow. No, that was too stupid.
Yeah. It wasn't like hurting anybody stupid, it was a painful stupid.
I think the funny part is, so he reaches in the pocket, he pulls out the key, puts it under there.
Yeah.
And then he reaches back into the pocket and pulls out the little sign.
Yes.
So that's probably the visual of him having that like ready to go all of a sudden.
Well,
And then
if
I
that
was
one
talking-
didn't get you, then I think there's next gag.
this
will
next
totally
one
get
will.
you.
I was talking about how they're cooking through this episode. Well, we got to take a break here to mention the lawn. Marilyn's like, well, I hope they don't ruin the yard. And Liz like, oh, it took us so long to get us like this. Get like this. So Herman pulls out another sign. Stay off weeds.
Yeah. Mhm.
Did I get you, Keith?
No.
No. Well,
And then
all right.
Not as much as the other two. I
we
guess.
need one more speed bump for this speedy episode. And he's like, oh, I didn't say goodbye to Spot. So he runs over to the manhole cover. Herman lifts up the manhole cover. Goodbye, Spot. Flames come out of the manhole.
I actually I like that because now it gives me like how far out do like the tunnels under their house go, or is this something Spot has
No,
dug
Spot
for
lives in the
himself?
sewers from now on. That's how I get it.
Yeah, those stairs in like the middle of the those secret hatch just lead straight down into the sewers, I guess. Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, he's able to get, he's got like a whole little pathway out to the sewers and then back into the house. He also you can see him walking. You can see him walking around a little bit other places with when we see a shadow and stuff like that. But I thought that was interesting that like they can go all the way. It's not like it's like perfectly in front of their house. It's over a little bit and it's still lift up and he's right there enough to like shoot fire up out of it and everything.
Yeah.
We've been getting a lot of Spot lately. Like they've really been showing him off like every episode. It feels like, which I like. It's kind of nice, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think I've got a theory on why they're all broke now. In that clip you showed, that says they got him a new toy that was like some sort of foreign
a European sports car.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if that's what they're using to get toys, like no wonder they're broke. I mean, they're buying a new car.
Sense.
Yeah.
But it's so remarkable. They have to do all these little speed bumps. Well, now Spot has free reign of the city, don't you think?
That's what I'm thinking. Is like he's got access to like wherever he wants to go.
Yeah, I mean, you hear those like rumors about in Australia there's like an alligator climbing out of your toilet. Well, you gotta be careful in Munsterville because Spot might be. Yeah.
And if you go way back to whatever episode that was, 25 feet below the earth, when those people were in the sewer, they're looking to get eaten by Spot.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. They were risking their lives going down there trying to.
Yeah, they were. I think anyone that goes in the sewer is risking life. And when they were talking, were they talking to Spot? When the side-eyed.
Yes, I was going to say that. Is Spot? Can he speak?
Yeah. What if that was Spot? And remember when they opened the sewer and all the water came out?
Yeah.
What if that was Spot?
Yeah, I think that was. This is interesting. He's got more of a personality than I thought.
He follows them around in case they ever really get into trouble, and then they just call him. And he comes up right out the sewer systems.
I think it's safe to say that any sewer activity or interaction is Spot.
Yep, I think that's that's pretty much canon now. I think they've confirmed it.
Agreed. So here we go. They do all the little speed bumps. The Munsters drive off. Then a convertible's up with the Standells. Then the Munsters pull up to the Winston Hotel. Doormen are aghast.
In between, though, Herman never checked his rearview mirror to see the convertible pulling up right behind him.
There's a weird cut in there, though, too. So
did you see how Grandpa was sitting in his chair
straight?
He looked uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable.
Like planking. He was planking.
Yes, it was very strange, which made me believe it wasn't Grandpa. What if it was a dummy?
The life-size replica of Al Lewis?
Well, listen, if I make the Munsters in the 60s, it is to my benefit to have a life-size replica of Al Lewis available at all times.
True. You never know. Yeah, he's probably, he's probably a little difficult sometimes on set. And he's like, I'm not doing this scene. I'm not climbing into that car.
I'm not getting in that car. Yeah, exactly.
I got some nails to go eat.
Yeah. He just threw that dummy up there. Because it is stiff as a board.
Yeah.
Wild. Does not sit in the chair.
It's like leans back. Like, I don't think I could sit that way for like
no one can.
Like for like 10 seconds. I think I would fall over. I don't know how he did that. He's old. Like
no human or Dracula can do that. That's why
it seemed very like you could tell he looked uncomfortable and awkward. And I just remember sitting there looking at it being like, man, Why doesn't he adjust himself?
Do you ever notice how life-size replicas look? Uncomfortable. They always do.
Yeah, you're on
I'm
something.
telling you. All right.
Interesting.
So the Munster, that was the first thing I noticed too in that car. Like, why doesn't he sit? The
Yes.
seat's right there by your butt. Just put it down. Oh well.
He doesn't know how to sit. He's always hanging upside down. He's never
Yes.
actually, you know.
Munsters pull up to the Winston Hotel. Doormen are like, oh, when does the morgue give curb service? Herman tells them all to go check in and I'll park the car. Grandpa wants to go with because it's an underground garage and they might see some friends. Meh, 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 meh.
Bleh.
That's a terrible joke.
Yes, because an underground garage is clearly where corpses are. I don't understand.
Or some dude he's looking to meet up with. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Herman's like, no, son, you go with the girls. There's some fresh traveling salesmen around here. The bellhop's having problems with Eddie's bag because you know what? It's got Herman's extra pair of shoes in it.
Yeah, and Eddie, I guess he's inherited his dad's strength. He's strong. He can hold that up.
Eddie has no problems. Bellhop, the man who does nothing but lift bags all day, cannot lift this one. Oh well. Cut to the Standells in the Munsters' home. Reminds them of a converted car barn they played in San Francisco, which got a laugh. So
Hilarious. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get it. Igor flies overhead.
Igor's still there. That cracked me up. That Igor
He's
is still there.
squeaking and then he's swooping. And they're like, what's that? It's probably a fucking bat, you dumb shit.
He's probably going like, he's
very large
Igor's freaking out. He doesn't know who these people are. Nobody discussed this with Igor.
I sure ain't no swallow of Capistrano. Oh my God. I wanted to walk off a plank after hearing that.
I did.
Right into the jaws of the spot, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I was getting very Munster versus Madness vibes here. Like
The house party, yeah.
Yeah, the house party.
Oh, I know. I was waiting
like,
to see if what's his face with the Skittles head came.
Marshawn. Yeah.
Marshawn.
I'm glad because I think the Munsters are very lucky that this bat didn't get just brutally like smushed or murdered or like got called a pest control on because they did not warn the family or like the band about these this like rodent flying around.
Well, the Munsters are lucky that the bat didn't just kill him.
Oh, that's true.
I'm sure Igor has a murder streak in him and he could have just finished him off.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, they're investigating the living room. Oh, they play the organ. But shit comes out as the organ does. You can see the notes while you play them. And then they say this, and I hated this so much. Dig this lopsided guitar. Like they don't know what a harp is? Bullshit. Bullshit.
Dumbasses.
Everybody knows what a harp is.
What a bunch of idiots. I've lost all respect for these guys. That was dumb.
This again leads you to think that they had made up a band for this because a bunch of idiots who don't know anything.
Yes. That's why it's like, oh, these people are dumb.
It's almost like they're like, all right, we're just gonna have the Standells come into set. We have the living room set up. Just have them walk around and like make up their own lines. Like, look at this sideways guitar.
Dig this lopsided guitar. And they walk over and play a note, and then he says something. I wish I wrote it down. He's like, oh,
it's like groovy or something.
Crunky or something like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't like that's crunk, but it wasn't crunk. It was something else. They decided this calls for a party. He slaps the chair, some shit blows out. Let's call us some playmates. I'm like, Cut to Munsters entering their swank hotel room, and it is swank. And this is definitely it's the antithesis of Munsterism.
No, they're miserable. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
They are unsure. Lily especially is unsure what to do as soon as they walk in.
Yeah. Grandpa comes in and it's like, what's this on the wall? Oh, it's the air conditioner. Well, turn on. The air is really fresh in here. It's too fresh. Eddie with a line. Well, this line number 2 of the episode. He wants to go out and walk around the ledge.
I love that. It's like so weird, but okay.
Lily's like, no. You might fall and hurt somebody.
Fair enough.
Okay, now hold on. So the harp being a lopsided guitar, and we all like, what? Does it seem weird that Grandpa doesn't know what an air conditioner is?
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, not as bad as the harp thing, because I guess, the Munsters, maybe they don't run the AC all the time in their house, and it's, big place, maybe wherever Grandpa's hanging out, he doesn't have a lot of access to it, or never sees the thermostat. I just thought that was really weird. Like, what's this?
Grandpa stays in the dungeon most times, I think, where it's probably cool and damp. Don't need AC down there.
He probably has like a cooling rack, one of those old school, like, you pour some water in it, the
It's
humidity
a
comes
big
out.
block of dry ice and,
Yes.
and a fan. Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't think that seemed odd. That, like, was that something he should have not been surprised about what it was, I guess.
That was a groaner, I thought. Yeah, it's like, that's just
Yeah. So Eddie wants to go on the ledge. Lily says no. Lily tells him to get ready for bed. I'm like, weird.
It's like the middle of the day, as far as I could tell.
Yeah. Then Lily complains there's no dust. And at these prices.
Ugh.
The bellhop's over there.
What prices? They're not paying for it.
I know. It doesn't matter to them. The bellhop wants a tip. Marilyn's like, oh, you gotta grease his palm. So Grandpa walks over, does like some sort of magic, poof of smoke, and makes a big pile of grease appear in his
That
palm.
was so gross.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And that dude was like, what? I got a handful of grease. And he turns and Herman walks in. He doesn't freak out at Herman, though. He just leaves. He's like, I'm out of here. What took Herman so long? Well, the hotel's got some labor problems. As soon as I pulled in, the attendant quit.
Oh God. We've heard this all before.
I know. Just rehashed jokes. Eddie can't sleep in the creepy bed. He wants to sleep in the dresser. At least there's handles, which is okay. That's an okay joke.
I like
Lily
that.
wishes they were back at their own home having a quiet evening.
Like, they've been there for what, 10 minutes
Not
total, and
even.
they're already freaked out.
They all look concerned.
God, I love staying in hotels.
I know.
I haven't got to travel anywhere in a while for work. Those are the best. I mean, they put you up in a pretty decent place for work.
Yeah.
And just getting there and chilling out, and I'm like, 10 different pillows to pick from, and adjusting the AC to be very low. So it's
I know.
pitch, the pitch black. Yeah, as low as it'll go. The windows all with the pitch black. It's fantastic, and they're just like, ugh.
Yeah.
There's
And
no
this is
dust.
a very
There's
nice hotel. It's nicer than my house. There's there's lots of rooms, space.
And the scene goes on forever too. It's just like, come on. Like, we get this. We've heard this. It's the same thing every time they go out somewhere. It's like, oh, where's all the dust? Oh, it's so horrible. It's like, you've been to other places in your life. You know that nobody else lives that way. Like,
I know.
And I will say that, like, in our ideas of like watching this show, and I was like, oh, we're gonna see like their weird interactions, and like this stuff, like, oh, it's gloomy is good, and if it's raining, it's nice. Never once did I think that dusty rooms was going to be an issue.
Yeah. It's just it is whack. The whole scene was bad. Cut 2. A bunch of people walking into the Munsters' house. A bunch. It felt like hundreds.
There's a parade of people. Yeah, it's crazy.
The Standells are having a party. Cut 2.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, that's right. Yeah, like a very unnecessary scene that we just saw of people coming in and then cutting right back to the same thing we saw earlier.
Cut right back to the Munsters. They're packing up to go home. Lily was hoping to spend an enjoyable weekend away from home, but nothing has worked out. I mean, shit, they gave it a whole 15 minutes, and it's clearly a wasted effort.
Where do you think they do go for like a weekend out? Because like I can't.
There
think
was
of
that
anywhere.
one prison island they went to for their Beyond that, I don't know. Herman will only have fun at home from now on.
Oh, that's true. They would like it more like, that guy could have saved a lot of money just getting them a really, really cheap hotel. I think they would like that a lot better.
Mm-hmm. One where you could cut through the walls with a knife pretty easily.
Yeah, super thin walls.
Yeah,
super thin walls.
Yeah, check out the Patreon, people.
Cut through with the.
I don't even know what you're referencing. That sounds like something in a wholly different universe than ours.
that doesn't sound like something we would say. So they get there. Lily's like, we gotta get GTFO. And Herman's like, what about the lease we signed? Lily's like, Lily does not give a shit.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, we'll just ask him to leave. We have that
do
power.
that. You can't do that.
No.
Oh.
Herman's like, I'm with you all the way, 100%. You're my boo, ride or die. What?
God, I wish you would say that. That'd be great.
Can you do all the talking? I like that. Marilyn, get Grandpa. We're leaving. So Marilyn goes over, opens the closet. Grandpa's hanging upside down in it. And he's like,
Yeah.
I'll be right with you.
Grandpa's perfectly happy. He's just hanging out in the closet.
That's all he needs to do. Hang upside down. I'll be right with you. And that's where we get the commercial break. And then we come back. Munsters pull up to their house. Look at all the cars. And it's all lit up. Well, it gives it an eerie look, doesn't it? There's music in the background. Must be the Standells music. But we don't know it's the Standells yet. At least the Munsters don't. These people that are renting are having a party. Lily, not having it one bit. Herman, the sensible reaction is like, we should probably go back to the hotel.
Yes, you can't come back. You signed the thing.
We rented this house to them for the weekend. We said it's theirs.
Just find a beat up, rundown hotel and they'll still pay you for it. In fact, if it's cheaper, I'm sure they'll be nicer to cover like whatever the cheap Howard Johnson is compared to whatever swanky when they put him up.
Here's the thing. They gave us the 2022 equivalent of $13,000
You're right.
for this weekend. We can't just go back in. Lily says
plus other expenses.
Plus that hotel.
Oh,
that
okay,
hotel's like $1,000 a night.
Yeah, so if it's Friday night and Saturday night, I'm sure they got some other stipends for eating and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like
$30,000 weekend for them.
Jesus. And let's just go bust up the party.
But Lily says, nah, you dipshit. You go up there right now and you tell them you're the head of the house and you demand that they leave. Like, oh, God. Lily always throws it back in his face when she gets the opportunity, doesn't she?
Yes, which is good. That's probably a good thing to do.
Yes. So Herman gets the door, but all the Munsters are with him. All the Munsters at the door. Herman knocks. Bearded dude answers the door, and he's like, "Come on in." I like this. Some cats from LA just blew in. They don't give the Munsters two thoughts.
No,
it's like,
yeah.
All right, you're some weirdos. Come on in.
They're happy to have
this
them.
whole house is full of weirdos. The Munsters go, and they even say that, like, we don't know anybody either. Just come on in.
This just mirrors that beard look kind of fake. I could be wrong, but
it was 100% fake.
Yeah, I think that's why they reference him as bearded man. Then,
yeah. He spent 6 hours in makeup to put that beard on.
It looked good. I mean, that was a really fashionable mustache he had.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, the Westmore stylings.
The Westmore beard. It's the classic Westmore beard.
Yep.
Once you get a load of their get up, it's far out. The haircut on the tall one is the greatest thing since Carl Sandburg, which was such a line. Keith?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
no.
Carl Sandburg was a poet who grew up in Southwest Chicagoland.
He played second base for the Cubs, yeah.
Yeah, that's Ryan Sandberg. Carl Sandburg, poet. The Standells are doing a concert in the living room, and people are dancing. And here's the guy I wish we had information on. There's a tall, skinny dude with a pipe, and he's amazing.
That guy.
Do you know who I'm talking about? He's in the middle of the room. He's like tall and lanky. He's kind of like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, but he's doing this dance. He's like bobbing his head like a chicken, but his whole torso straight, knees are bent, and he's got a pipe in his mouth. And I love that guy. I want him to be our mascot.
Well, he can be. We can hunt down the lanky piped man.
Lanky pipe man. He was awesome.
Yeah, look that up on Urban Dictionary while you're at it.
Lanky pipe man. Oh, I'm sure pipe man and lanky. Oh man, it doesn't sound good.
Those are two roads you don't want to travel down.
Yes. So he's going nuts, and I love it. He's dancing. The Munsters, they're having a real problem with it all, right? Because the Standells are singing a song, and they do like a yeah.
I'm having
and
a real
every
problem.
other yeah cuts to a Munster's face looking concerned. And
I think my
like
brain
that.
was like melting when I was watching that. I was with the Munsters, like, please stop saying
Just
yeah.
stop singing. Yeah.
It was like
yeah.
it was so fast. It was like yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
that
so
was horrible.
bad. It was so bad. So Herman tries to talk to the bearded guy, and the bearded is like, just cool it, man. You'll get your chance. At what? Not sure. And then Eddie's like, oh, it's the Standells. The Munsters start to get into the music, though, after that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is a Standells? Huh. And they start dancing. And then the Standells do the complete version of a very pitchy I Want to Hold Your Hand.
Yeah, another full
This
song.
is where I thought, this isn't a real band.
Mhm.
There's no way. But now that I know that the real band, they were constructed by an A&R man. They found like 4 people and put them together. That's why I don't think they could have played the Munsters theme. Too complicated.
Yeah.
Not enough time
Okay.
to practice.
Yeah, I was shocked that we're gonna hear. I was like, surely they're not gonna play the whole song.
Oh,
Oh,
the whole song.
Mhm. This is really where the episode just, I'm like, what? I think I texted you guys when I was originally watching this. I'm like, I don't know what we got going on here. This is
At this point, there's 14 minutes left of the episode. Maybe
holy
15.
crap.
The Munsters get in the music. They do the Hold Your Hand. Willie's like, oh, they have a style. Herman's like, they have a certain razzmatazz. They're almost as good as Kate Smith. Keith?
Yeah, Kate Smith. She's an American contralto.
Conquistador. Woo.
Contralto.
Don't know what
a
that is.
contra alto.
Yeah. Mhm.
What is that?
That's I think that just is like the range of her pitch, and alto is
Oh.
like so there's like bass, alto, tenor, soprano. So she's like kind of on the lower end, I would guess.
Well, she is referred to as the First Lady of Radio. And
Oh.
she's known for her renditions of God Bless America and When the Moon Comes Over the Mountain.
When
that
the
sounds beautiful.
moon comes over the mountain. I made that up.
That was
But I bet
great.
you it's pretty close.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Eddie asks Grandpa if it sends him out of this world.
Ugh.
Grandpa goes, I've been there before. And then he starts blowing smoke out his ears.
Of course. Okay, so is he implying he's been out of space, like in outer space?
That's
I
why he
think-
freaks out about aliens.
Or he's been like on another plane of existence, man.
Oh, I see, like in the underworld or something.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
dropped the acid.
Yeah, I think that's what he's saying.
So pretty much, I think. I've
Yeah.
eaten handfuls of mushrooms.
Yeah,
The
like in the old
Munsters-
country. You know, you go in the woods.
in
you
the
find all
old
sorts of things.
country. You go out there with a shaman, you come
Yeah.
back a vampire.
Yeah, this is all in his head. Yeah, ever since that trip, Grandpa's never been the same.
What if the whole Munsters is still Grandpa, like wigging out on like ayahuasca or something, out in the middle of the nowhere Transylvania, and he's like imagined a whole future for himself.
Yeah, in the final episode, like it cuts to him like in a asylum, like rocking back and forth. His family's looking at him, shaking their heads, like
Mhm.
he's not getting any better.
He's talking about this Herman, and he sounds like a dope. So the Munsters, they're all dancing. Beardo tells Marilyn, "Oh, you're not like the rest of your group." She says, "I know, I'm the plain one." This is
Aw.
like, this episode is let's get out all the old jokes that
Yep.
we know and use them because we got nothing.
Yeah, and then it kind of lingers, and Marilyn kind of like is giving that guy like the side eye. I think she's like, oh, well,
Yeah.
I thought some sparks were going to start
Yeah.
flying, but they don't really go into
And,
that.
and I thought that dude was there with the other chick who's in, like, she was the one watching Grandpa when like the
On the
smoke started
opposite
coming
side.
back
Yeah.
Oh,
out his ears, and she looked over him like, whoa, like,
hmm
yeah.
The Standells finished their song 3 minutes later.
Mhm.
Everyone, like, it's the whole song. They played the whole
yes,
song.
yes.
The Standells finished their song. Everyone claps. Herman whistles like a tugboat.
Very
Herman
loudly.
is able to make a sound to get the attention of everyone. That sounds like a motherfucking tugboat. It's
Yes.
like, it is so loud. He could have done that earlier.
Yeah.
He needed to get the attention of everybody, but no.
Yeah, I was surprised. That was something new, though. Hey, good for them for doing something a
Yes,
little different.
Herman has new power, the power of tugboat. Then one of the Standells, no clue, says, "Quiet, everyone. The hermit is going to groove us." And everyone quiets up. And then this guy, tall, bearded guy, not the guy with the pipe. He was cool. This guy looks like a hermit. He's got a belt made out of rope. He comes walking up to applause. Now, Grandpa has the line of the episode coming up here, and it blew my mind. This reminds me of that wild party at Mayerling just before the Grand Duke went upstairs and blew his brains out.
I could not believe he said that. I was like, "Excuse me." I rewound it because I was like,
Oh,
"Jeez."
I watched
What is
it
he
5
doing?
times. I hit that back 10 over and over and over again.
Blew his brains out. You just said that on TV.
Yes.
Like that
I
seems
didn't
so
look
like
it up.
it seems so frank compared to like some of their other jokes are a little tame, but this one's like, Jesus, Grandpa, you can't just say that.
But there was a Mayerling incident. Keith? I thought you would have Googled it at the same time I did.
Pop culture things are my.
There's Mayerling. It's a series of events surrounding the apparent murder-suicide pact of Rudolph, Crown Prince of Austria, and his lover, Baroness Mary Vestra. There it was.
Wow.
Grandpa was a reference. Grandpa. It was so out there. I was like, holy shit. He blew his brains out.
Yes.
And they were at
this
that
is the same show where Herman put a gun to his head because
that's true.
Yeah.
He's gonna kill himself. Yeah. This is every once in a while the monsters do surprise me with because they're like quote unquote the dark, they like the dark things, but they never really go that far. But every once in a while it's like, huh?
Grandpa says something. It's like, what? So now the hermit comes out in front of everybody. He's going to do some beat poetry. There's bongos playing. Now, I'm going to read the poem in a normal cadence. It takes nearly 2.5 minutes.
It goes on for a long time.
In a vortex of the future of the cool Tomorrowland, we'll all wait there, play a gig there in that great non-union bank. Scuba doo and scuba dabba, life's a gas and life's a grabba. Hip is hop and groove is groovy. Life's a wild Fellini movie. And that hairy fist of silence slugs us, bugs us, puts us down. We'll all wing it. We'll all sing it. Guy Lombardo's back in town.
Ugh. That's horrible. Not your rendition, but his his work. You're just repeating it. You did a great job.
Oh, yours was amazing.
Yeah, Derek, you did a great job. But that guy, it took so long to say that. You did it so well. You so concisely. It takes 15 seconds to say all that?
Yes. It was 2.5 minutes of screen time.
It's just his face. It's just right up on him.
Yeah.
They're just like chewing up as much time as possible.
Yes.
Because they have no idea what else to do.
They have nothing.
Almost like they weren't expecting the Munsters to get that quickly annoyed at the hotel room.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's so many other things that could be, maybe like the Standells could be interacting with the Munsters, maybe, or something. Like maybe there could be something like some party stuff going on. But no, we're just going to buy time by having like slam poetry and playing 2 full songs.
Yep.
Surely that's it, though. Surely there's not any other time extenders.
No. Then the Beardo goes, that guy sure cuts away the tinsel, don't he? And I'm like, okay. Lily's having fun. Grandpa hasn't seen this many good-looking people in one place since they closed down the mausoleum back home.
Keith?
Yeah, Keith.
Touche. Nice one.
And then we get this.
Let's hear from the Jolly Green Giant.
Oh, no, not me.
Oh, dear. I think he's going to recite.
Ibbity Ibbity bibbity sibbity sab. Ibbity bibbity canal boat. Dictionary? Down the ferry. Mary, Mary, quite contrary. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy lost his hair. Scuba do and scuba die. That chicken's not too young to fry.
I like that one.
Life is real, life is earnest. If you're cold, turn up the furnace.
That laugh track, loving every line.
Oh my gosh. Herman gets up there, does his version of beat poetry, and it reeked of. This was in the writer's room between Joe Conley and Bob Mosher, whoever it was.
Dick Conway. Yeah. The Beaver Gang.
They're like, the Beaver Gang's like, you know what sucks? Beat poetry. Yeah, it's all like hibbity bibbity and scuba dooby. And that is what they did. They took that dumbass riff and put it in there.
Yeah, they probably were cracking themselves up doing that.
Oh my God, I'm sure they were. So we got that bit. Clearly, that's the last time filler, right?
Oh yeah, that's kind of
Herman.
it.
He's getting applause. Herman is a ham, right? We know he likes
He likes to perform.
He does his tugboat whistle again. And then Beardo goes, man, that cat is deep.
Really?
Yeah, what a message. And then Herman then calls up that swinging chick from Transylvania, my wife, Lily. Lily's like, oh, no, I can't. And then she goes up. And then, Cats, you ain't heard nothing yet. Get a load. And then somebody goes, get a load of this guy. He thinks he owns the place.
That was one of the band members, wasn't it?
Yeah. Then Lily gets on the harp on the weird
sideways guitar.
Yeah. That's why they had to point it out. Like, oh, there's a harp here, remember? Lily gets on the harp and sings a song. And she kills it. Straight up kills it.
Yeah. She's good. I like this song.
But it's 2 minutes long. She sings the whole song. And everyone looks and they keep cutting between Lily not playing the harp and singing and like Grandpa. And Lily is not playing the harp, but pretending to play the harp and singing, and Herman. And then finally, the last time we see Herman and Grandpa start crying, and I wrote down the whole goddamn song.
Yes.
Because she sings it.
And it's like
so that's like 2 something. The Hermit guy, he was like another 2.5 for his thing.
I want to hold your hand.
Did 3 minutes. Yeah.
So
ridiculous.
There's a 24-minute episode. We got a minute worth of banger, a minute worth of credits, and then 8 minutes of nothing.
Yes.
Nothing.
It's weird. I mean, it's a good. I think it's a really. I was like, wow, she's actually really good at the harp, and she's a great singer.
Yeah,
but it's like not creepy or anything. It's like a normal song. Like it's not even like
he's gone away. Who'll kiss my ruby lips? Blah blah blah. She's singing. She's a great singer, and it's Yvonne DiCarlo. You can tell 100%. Right? It's not like George Clooney and Oh Brother We're Out There, where they clearly got a different person to sing. It is Yvonne DiCarlo.
Yeah, and during this, Grandpa is really giving some weird glances to that woman that's next to him. And I was like, what's he doing?
She never made it out.
Yeah, he's gonna feast tonight.
the red lips makes him think of blood, and
yes, clearly. Now we need to fade to from there. The Munsters basically chasing the Standells out of the house. Like, get the fuck out. It's great that you were here. I'll see you later. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. And the Standells are like, oh, thanks. We really appreciate it. You guys are good people, blah, blah, blah. And Herman says, well, if your act ever dies, give me a call at the parlor. Herman does a little laugh with it, like, ha, 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 ha. And then they're like, we really dig you people. And Grandpa says, great. Someday we'll return the favor.
Oh, if we get a band episode with them and they all have to like be the Standells for an episode, that I would like to see.
Oh, I thought digging like a grave for them. Yeah.
So then the Munsters go back into the living room and it's trashed. And then I wrote down, So something terrible happened between Lily's song and now something, and the Munsters didn't stop it.
They were there the whole time.
They were there the whole time. Their living room is destroyed, furniture destroyed, everything destroyed. It was all intact when Lily sang her song. Maybe Lily's whipped everybody up in such a frenzy. It's like some crazy like beatnik Munster orgy or something.
Well, yeah. Well, the way Grandpa was looking at that one woman, I think we know what happened. Yeah, that romantic song. Mm-hmm.
Munster, Grandpa Munster killed everybody. He did the True Blood zip between everybody except for the Standells, right?
He liked them. Yeah.
The rest are buried in the backyard. But you know what? Eddie got an autograph. It's like, I got an autograph. And it's like, to Eddie Munster, you're a groovy kid or whatever. And Herman's like, I'll sleep better knowing the future of America is in the hands of boys like these.
Okay.
Yep.
A weird ending line, but it feels very final. And I was like, okay, we're done.
No, that's not where the credits come, Terry. Slow your roll. We still got 45 seconds to fill. Come back to breakfast.
Really?
The tried and true Munster staple, breakfast table.
Yep.
Grandpa comes down late. What an amazing evening.
You know what he's been up to.
Yeah. He fell asleep as soon as his head hit the slab.
I'll be honest, I'm never going to be able to watch these episodes. Like, I have to watch them the same day we talk about them. I don't remember any of this ending.
Lily offers to heat up. He's like, oh, Lily's like, you came down late. I'll heat up your coffee. And Grandpa's like, nah, I got this. He sticks his finger in his coffee. It starts smoking. Marilyn off screen ADR says, it was a fun night. But Herman's like, nah, I'm just glad we're back to being the normal old Munsters. Credits? No. Then Eddie comes crashing through the ceiling. In seated position, it's like he's almost sliding down on wires in a seated position. He sits right down in his chair. Good morning, Eddie. Credits.
That's the end.
That's the end.
Dear God,
you could be making all this shit up as far as I know now. Once
Eddie
Lily
came
started
crashing
singing,
down through
I don't
the
remember
ceiling,
anything else.
seated, and he didn't even move his legs; just went right into it with that noise.
I cannot believe how like unrelated to the episode this was.
I know.
Yeah,
it's like the baseball ending. Well, gents, that was season 1, episode 26. Far Out Munsters. What did y'all think?
This is maybe the worst episode yet. I mean, there's no. It's cool to see Yvonne DiCarlo get to sing at the end. Outside of that, there's nothing else redeemable in this entire episode.
No. I said it was very vapid up front. It's
except for that dancing guy with the pipe.
Oh boy, that dancing guy is my hero.
Yeah, I kind of agree. This is definitely super low tier Munsters. Like you can really, my jaw was agape, and I was laughing about how ridiculous it is that we see like 5 different songs in this full length. Like in my notes, I'm like, oh, she's gonna play the harp. Oh, she's pretty good. It's a good song, and it's like, oh, she's still going. We're truly getting a full song of the harp thing. Okay, and like
harp action.
I've got like 5 lines about the harp, and that means it went on for a long time.
Yeah,
and it was good. It was the best part of all the songs that they did. So, good for them.
And this episode just seems so out of place with anything else that they've done.
Oh, for sure.
As well. And again, it made me think like somebody was really pushing the Standells to become something big. So they're like, oh, let's put them on the new, hip show that everyone's watching, the Munsters.
Must be.
Mm-hmm.
How to reach the most kids. The Munsters.
Yeah. Yes. I just wish they would have hung out with the Munsters more. Like the Standells and them should have like had like more interactions, because really they don't. At all.
They should have solved a mystery or something.
Yes.
Anything other than what they did, because what they did, boring and dumb.
Yeah, I agree.
Plus, the one guy who digs their music, Eddie, you don't even let him go play with them.
No.
Oh yeah,
that would have been awesome. Yeah, to see him like jamming out or having Woof Woof do something. I don't know, anything. But Eddie play some music too. I don't know. And he gets up there and starts hitting the drums or playing guitar or something with him.
Oh,
he was the one he's the one who loved them and was excited to see them.
Mm-hmm. He could have played the drums just like the Mini Munsters, and that could have been like a nice thorough tie-in thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we didn't care much for this one, right? But
No.
But the people on IMDb,
Oh, yes.
they are rave-tastic about this. I haven't read any of these before. Some of them are very long. So I'm going to find some short ones. Watch and enjoy a funny time capsule, 9 out of 10. The Munsters rent the house to a rock and roll band and return in time for a wild party in their house. There's a poetry reading that is not, yes, we got all this, blah, blah, blah. The band was not bad at all. Lies. Although I don't know if they were really playing on the show or just posing. Doesn't matter. Kind of hard to say, but it was reasonably good. I liked it and found it quite entertaining. Check it out. Now, hold on. This line right here does not scream 9 out of 10. I liked it and found it quite entertaining.
Yes.
That's
reasonably
6.
good. Like, that's not a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, no.
But, with the Munsters, I guess maybe the bar, it just shifts, I think. And this, it was low.
And that review was from 2020, relatively recently.
Oh, wow.
Here's one from 2006.
Oh, perfect.
The Munsters rent out their house and then want to renege, only to find the renters are throwing a party. 10 out of 10. Far Out Munsters, fun episode, and is one of the best of the bunch.
Wow.
When the Munsters decide to rent out the mansion at 1313, Lane, you just don't know what to expect. The renters turn out to be a rock and roll band, but they're being very Lily here, rehashing. When the Munsters return home, yes, we know all this. Throw a party. Now, you just know that the Munsters will only add life to the party. The Standells are excellent. Herman's poetry was a howler. And then Lily performs for the crowd. We lost it. Al Lewis's grandpa is his usual suburb self with a couple of trick gags, and Eddie Munster has some funny banter.
Sure.
Beautiful Pat Priest was and always will be the best Marilyn. Nothing will ever be like the Munsters, and Far Out Munsters is a good snippet of the essence of why they will live forever in TV land.
Wow.
10 out of 10.
This is not an episode I would say that if someone wanted to watch the Munsters, this is at the bottom of the list to start with.
It doesn't even really give you the vibe of the Munsters because nobody seems freaked out by them all that much.
No.
Herman references a few people, I guess, the parking attendant, stuff like that. But when they show back up at the house, people are like, yeah, come on in, man. We're just hanging out. And then there's musical performances and shit. This is not the prime example of a Munsters episode.
Well, here we go. This is the only negative review on IMDb. Wow. 1 out of 10.
Ooh,
a real all caps stinker. I don't agree with the other reviewers on this episode. I think it was one of the worst of the series. Nice. I watched the whole thing to see if it ever got better. It didn't. The Standells come off as a lousy Beatles imitator, and the beatnik, in quotes, angle is just stupid. The music was lousy.
Dang. Kind of agree, I guess.
I can't argue with
Derek, the number 9, the word.
Yeah. And the year 2019, I went back in time and did this. Oh, boy. Well, back in episode 1, there was a babysitter that was unflappable, never could be broken. Babysitted Eddie and nothing faced her. Over the course of 20 fucking something episodes, we have discussed what would break the babysitter. What in season 1, episode 26 would have broken the babysitter?
I think what kind of breaks her is it's the next day, and she wakes up and she's still in the Munster house, and that the hermit guy kind of rolls over next to her.
Oh no!
Yeah, they're in just one of the spare rooms, and he rolls over and just kind of lays her arm over, and she's like, "Oh Jesus, I was supposed to be home last night. She didn't have to babysit. What the hell was I doing here?" Yeah, dang. I think that's what breaks her this time.
So she banged the beatnik.
That's what I would assume. Only because we saw the Standells leave the house. So
yeah, he's still there. I hope he's still there in all the rest of the episodes too. He just shows up, and if they ever need to kill 5 minutes, I'll just bring him on to do a poem or something.
Jeez, I hope they don't ever have to kill 5 more minutes.
I think what would break the babysitter is, she's noticed that the Munsters are they don't understand reality like the normal person's way of life, even though they've been out of the house. They're kind of they've got kind of like horse blinders on, it seems like. And so she's been trying to like kind of broaden their horizons, be like, look, I know you guys like to live a particular way, and that's fine, but the rest of the world likes to live this way. And, you know, it's like, look, maybe we should just try to act a little bit more normal around people. You know, you're going to make people comfortable that are on edge around you. And, you know, she's like, all right, okay. Oh, you're going to a hotel. That'll be a great experience. And then she's waving them off. She sees Grandpa climb up and just plank on the seat. And she's like, it's hopeless. There's no way these guys are going to acclimate to society. Look at Grandpa. He's just planking on a seat. He's not sitting. He's just straight as a piece of plywood. He's not. Yeah, I think that's what breaks her. She just like tears her hair out. This is not going to happen.
Yeah, it is disturbing.
Where did they get a full body replica of Grandpa?
I'm telling you. All right, I think what broke the babysitter. She was in the tub at the Winston Hotel, soaking, relaxing. She had some cucumbers over her eyes, candles lit. She's like, "This is what I needed." And then they're like, "We're going home." She's like, "We've been here 20 fucking minutes. I just got in the tub. The water's still hot. I got room service."
It's kind of cool that she got in the tub already in 20 minutes. She's all set up with the cucumbers and everything. I mean, it's fast moving.
I already ordered room service. It's coming.
Yeah.
What are you doing to me? God damn it.
No,
Then,
yeah. It's infuriating. Yeah. No time to relax. Live with this babysitter.
Yep. Poor babysitter. She's broken. She's heartbroken. She's like, "I wanted this weekend too, and I gotta go back with you." Oh well. That was season 1, episode blah blah blah. Fire Out Munsters. Another rollicking good time in Munsterville. Gentlemen, Keith, once again,
sir,
thanks for Munstering. What you got for the peoples?
We are in full swing of That Was Great,
yeah,
Wasn't
you
It?
are.
Season 2, and it has been fantastic so far. Much more deserving than the actual cartoon that we're watching deserves to get. Guests have been great. Megan Danger, Max Campbell, Travis Crawford, a whole bunch of people been on the show, and I've been enjoying the recaps more than the actual show, much the way that we do here on the Munsters.
Sure.
Yeah, that's it, man.
And what about you, Terry?
Oh, I've got another show that I do called Run the Reel, where we talk about movies. It's still on hiatus. Someday it may return. I've just been very lazy about editing, but someday it'll be back. So if you want to check it out, take a listen. We do kind of like categories of movies. So we've done different like director movies, like Paul Thomas Anderson. We covered some of his stuff. We do more broad things like water movies, shark movies, stuff like that. So yeah, if you're interested, check it out. Yes, the classic movie genre.
Yeah. You could do a shark movie and a water movie covered.
There's a little overlap.
Both of them, yeah,
A little overlap. That Venn diagram has a considerable. And as for me, I got nothing other than this. The Patreon. Come on and check it out. Patreon.com/Munster Hunters. And then, of course, Munster Hunters on socials. We are doing whatever we want. That's it. And it's Munster tangential. At worst, at best, it's Munster centric.
Yep, that's true. It's been fun. We did some there was a weird like interruption in our broadcast from like it's weird. It sounded like us, but they're talking about a totally different show.
Yeah, I don't even know what that show is.
Yeah,
it sounded crazy, but yeah,
very crazy.
It might be worth checking out, guys. Yeah,
I would say it is. I would recommend it to anyone and everyone.
Yes.
If you find yourself in a spot where maybe your relationship with your significant other is failing, introduce them to the Munster Hunters Patreon. Hey, we'll bring you both back together as you are reunited and reminded of the love that you once had.
Yes.
To us.
Yep.
Ramble on about what the fuck ever nonsense.
Yeah. There's no guardrails like there are here in the normal
There's
episodes.
guardrails here?
Oh yeah, we have the Almanac, we have the SCUMA, and then we have to go through a whole episode.
Oh, you mean a
and
format?
everything. Yeah, guardrails format. over there, we're just kind of doing what we want to do.
It's like a river, ever ebbing and flowing. Yeah,
It is.
It's beautiful
We're like
in that
water,
way.
baby. We go wherever we want.
Mm-hmm.
No rules.
Yep. If you ever, like Derek said, but it'll cure any relationship you have. So
It'll cure anything.
mhm.
You got rheumatoid arthritis. Munster Hunters Patreon.
Yeah, just hook your headphones up to your the aching areas, and
Yep.
it'll resonate through your bones. You'll feel a lot better.
Yeah.
It's been discovered that my voice has a certain pitch that either enrages an animal or cures an ailment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, crying babies silence in our presence when we.
Yes. It's a thin line.
Also, if you get a chance, get out and leave some reviews if you listen to the show.
Yeah, you can do that.
Sure, yeah.
And wherever you listen to podcasts or on like Good Pods or what's the Podchaser? That's the other one. Yeah. Drop some notes in there. Let us know what you've been thinking of the show. You can also email us and let us know what you think broke the babysitter on each and every episode.
What's that email address, Keith?
Ooh, is that something at monsterhunter.com?
No, it's Munster Hunters.
Monsterhunters at gmail.com. That'd be a lot.
It's
easier to
Munster
remember.
Hunters at everything.
Yeah.
Munster Hunters on Twitter, Munster Hunters on Facebook, Munster
On
Hunters
Soundwave
on
or
Instagram,
SoundCloud.
Munster Hunters on Soundwave, Munster Hunters on SoundCloud, Munster Hunters at the National Archives at the Library of Congress. We are the Munster Hunters. Find us there.
Yeah.
And now I assume we should end our episode as we end all of our episodes.
You didn't know dogs could talk? I've been doing it for centuries.
A talking dog, big and gruff, on the stuff said you blew it. You need my help as a vet, and I'll bet I can do it.
Is this real?
I'm a host.
Yes.
I'm the funny, furry guardian of your family. Please don't boast. You're the only one who can ever see me. Half dog, half ghost. I am the most. Be my friend.
He speaks the words of the birds and the beast, and he translates. He helps me do a better job.
I'm McDuff, and I'm a talking dog.
The Munster Hunters are Derek Glascock, Keith Gawla, and Terry Vickroy. Keith is the host of the Pop-Up Filmcast, and that was great, wasn't it? Both shows can be found wherever you subscribe to podcasts. For more about Keith's shows, you can follow Pop-Up Filmcast on Twitter at Pop-Up Filmcast. And that was great, wasn't it? At How Great Was That? You can also follow Keith on Twitter at KG3030. Terry is one of the hosts of Run the Reel. It's a movie podcast that does deep dives on films with a theme. You can follow Run the Reel on Twitter at Run the Reel. You can also follow Terry on Twitter at Terry_Vickroy. If you would like more musings from me, you can follow on Twitter at Derek the number 9 and the word 9. Follow Munster Hunters on Twitter at Munster Hunters and subscribe on your podcatcher of choice for more Munster Hunter fun. Munster Hunters is mixed and edited by me, Derek. All original music is composed and mixed by Terry Vickroy, and executive producers are me and Keith Gawla. The Munster Hunters is a Krispy Dodo production.